Are you ready?
Oh, this will be a great wrestling podcast, and you can believe in that.
I knew he was going to do it. I knew.
This is OT3.
Prepare for launch. 3, 2, 1.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to OT3. Tonight is episode 35. Of course, as usual, I'm here tonight, and I got my boy Matt to my right. Matt, how you doing here tonight?
Woo! I'm doing good tonight, buddy.
Yeah, and the best producer in the business. He's here on OT3. He's here on the Shipe Sports Talk. He's got his own show on Crazy Talk. Paul, how you doing tonight?
Thanks, Anthony. I'm doing well.
Good. Paul's a little under the weather tonight, but he's still here tonight, and that's why he's the best in the biz today.
Oh, thanks. Making me blush.
So, Matt, what do you want to talk about first tonight? Obviously, we're coming back Royal Rumble, not even 2 weeks away. We already got the SmackDown exclusive pay-per-view coming up on Sunday. A lot of stuff happened on Raw this week. You know, just a quick turnaround from the big pay-per-view, one of the big four of the year. So, where do you want to start tonight? You know, before we start talking about anything major, like Elimination Chamber, that'll take a big period of time, let's talk about the first thing that was announced for the Hall of Fame. Obviously, you know Kurt Angle. It's now official that the Rock and Roll Express will be the next inductees into the Hall of Fame.
Tag Team Apocalypto?
Yes. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. The irony of that they showed up at Tag Team Apocalypto, and now they'll be in the WWE Hall of Fame in the same year. Pretty interesting stuff considering. So, very cool to see them finally inducted into the Hall of Fame. They've been a tag team for, got to be over 30 years. So, glad to see that. And another big thing I saw today, I don't know if you saw this, but Ultimate Warrior's wife, Dana Warrior, signed a multi-year contract with the WWE to be a brand ambassador for them. So she'll be, she's been helping with the company. She's been at the last couple Hall of Fames now. But she's going to be with the company now as an ambassador, which I think is a great thing for her. She's really done a lot of great things there. So I'm glad to see her continuing with the WWE in some capacity. Now that we touched on those two things, Matt, where would you like to go? What do you want to talk about first?
As Bret Hart would say, blame Samoa Joe.
Well, he usually says blame Seth Rollins.
Darn it. Seth Rollins could miss WrestleMania again. This is a tragedy. I know it was a freak accident, but damn. Oh, there goes my headphones. Look, I'm so frustrated now. I'm upset, man. I really am. I feel bad for Seth Rollins. He has so much momentum. It was a great debut for Samoa Joe, and they're saying 8 weeks. They're saying he can be back for WrestleMania. Only God can hope. But damn, that sucks, man. It was a horrible situation, especially when you see him go on crutches. You're like, okay, everything's fine.
What happened to him?
And then I guess Samoa Joe went behind him to go for the
Coquina clutch.
Yep, and I guess Rollins' knee buckled. And then later that night, they did an exclusive where they show him on crutches. And you're like, okay, cool. It's part of the show. Next morning, he tweeted a picture of his knee with stuff on it from Dr. James Andrews, which repairs everything you can think of when it comes to ligaments in the knee. And, your worst fear. But luckily, did they ever say what it was? I mean, it's 8 weeks, so I'm assuming it's got to be a sprain or something.
Excuse me. They haven't officially said it. That's just been the rumors. Tonight, it'll be addressed on Raw. They said he is not backstage, so if he'll show up via satellite, that's about the only thing. But there's no timetable official. The thing being set out is that it is 8 weeks, but that's not through WWE, so it could be a lot longer. It could be something a lot shorter. We're not really sure yet. So that'll be something they're going to address tonight. But they did announce that Samoa Joe will start Raw tonight, and he will be signing his exclusive contract to Monday Night Raw.
For that guy.
So now you got to think, if Seth Rollins is out, like he said, that puts this Triple H match in the air. One of the people they talked about being a replacement is Samoa Joe.
How? How do you turn that around?
Is it maybe tonight that Joe says, I didn't do that for you. I did that because I go where I want, whenever I want, and doesn't want to sign exclusive to Raw, so that leads to him and Triple H. Another thing I saw that could possibly be talked about, they talked about Shane and Triple H being in a match. Maybe Samoa Joe says, no, I don't want to come to Raw. I just came here to help you because, you started me in NXT, but I've already signed with SmackDown. And that leads to Shane wanting to face Triple H wants to go after Shane because he took his guy. So a lot of things are in the air.
Who knows?
Right. A lot of things are in the air with that. So we'll see where that goes. But let's hope Seth Rollins has a speedy recovery, man, because regardless if he misses WrestleMania or not, this is not someone you want to see on the shelf for a long period of time. And it sucks that he's going to miss WrestleMania again, more than likely, because even if it is something where it's, a sprain, and even if it's 4 or 5 weeks, I don't think they should rush him back, because as you can see, he came back from the torn ACL and, a wrong move, and he tweaked it again. And when I watched it back, you hear him yell, ow. And like Samoa Joe's like, look, you can see like Joe as he's doing the coquina clutches talking down to him like, you're all right. And you see Rollins' mouth. He goes, I hope so. So you don't want to see something like that. Let's just hope, like for all wrestling fans, like him or not, Seth Rollins is one of the best in the ring and on the mic overall. And on Raw, he's probably the top guy there. So anything else you want to add about Rollins before we move on from that?
No.
How about who's your early prediction to face Triple H at WrestleMania if Rollins is a no-go? Because Triple H, they said, is adamant about wrestling at Mania.
This is hard. Just really, you got to think of the storyline. Where do you go from?
Do you want to see Samoa Joe and Triple H?
No, because I don't.
Me neither.
It's really hard to tweak that story. The Rock.
Okay.
I'm sure they set it up 2 years ago.
Yeah, no, I could always see that happen. But you know what? I forgot to mention this, and this is something, this goes back to when he came back at WrestleMania 30 season. He said he wanted a retirement match against Triple H. Do you think maybe they reach out to Batista?
No.
The storyline writes itself because he left after he quit. He could say, I came back, you guys didn't do anything right for me, and now I want one final match against Triple H.
I don't think so.
And then he retires.
He's going to be busy. I mean, unless he's doing it just to promote Guardians of the Galaxy.
It would just be a match at Mania. It wouldn't be. That's what I'm saying. It wouldn't be another run. It would just be a match.
Last year, it's got to be the right thing and the right money. Personally, I don't think so. I really don't.
Okay.
Because remember, they're filming Avengers. When was it? Infinity War.
Infinity War, yeah, and he's
in that. So I mean, can he even take off to do anything?
It's true. It's very true.
So,
and as you saw with The Rock too.
I'm gonna say The Rock. Why not?
Well, when like The Rock, they showed a lot of movies. They were kind of hesitant about letting their, they didn't like that he was wrestling, and they made him sign like a separate liability form. That's what I'm saying. So that's something that could come into play as well. But definitely something to think about. When you think about who's on the roster right now, not many storylines really would happen organically.
Maybe Finn Balor, because I know they want him something in WrestleMania.
So maybe Finn. So let's see what happens if anyone joins. As you can see, we have a comment in the Curly said Rock. So I think that would definitely be a fan favorite type thing to see The Rock return at WrestleMania, especially in Orlando, since he's from Miami. So being from the home state of Florida. But let's move on from Seth Rollins. Let's talk about some other things. With Raw tonight. Again, they announced Cesaro and Sheamus will get their rematch tonight against the Club for the tag team titles. Do you think the Club continues their title reign, or do you think this is going to be a game of hot potato?
God forbid. We don't need another hot potato championship on Raw. No, I think the Club retains, and I think we're going to start seeing the end of Sheamus and Cesaro. I think that's winding down. Whether they have another match, who knows, but I think this could be winding down for them. I really didn't want it to wind down. I really liked what they were doing, but I think this could be the end of them.
Yeah. I think this is it, too. I think they're, like you said, they're going to start phasing out Cesaro and Sheamus back to, the mid-card, probably upper mid-card, maybe main event eventually, but for now, mid-card. And I think that the Club rolls and continues their title reign, which they should, rightfully so. Another thing on, what was it? They would announce something for the women tonight, and I can't remember what it was now. Bayley isn't officially the number one contender again yet, right?
No.
But she did pin Charlotte again last week.
They did, but there's also rumor that Sasha should be doing a heel turn pretty soon, which she's been, hinting at the past couple weeks. So maybe we see Bayley versus Sasha.
Okay, fair enough. You think for the number one contender maybe coming up?
Possibly.
I wouldn't mind it. But you got to think Nia Jax will be in the discussion since she's pinned Sasha Banks twice now.
Yes.
So very interesting what will go on there with the women's division. And that brings me to the other big thing on Raw tonight. Lesnar last week came out and laid down the challenge to Goldberg. He said he knows what was the words? I can't even remember now. What was the words Paul Heyman used? He kept using two words. He kept saying that when someone says this, but, or something like that, right? What was he saying? If only, or, but I can't remember the exact thing he kept saying. Oh yeah, but that was what it was. So he was saying like how like all these greats they have that, but they have that yeah, but like the Undertaker's undefeated at WrestleMania. Yeah, but Brock Lesnar beat him, and he said after WrestleMania 33, Goldberg will just be another yeah, but, and he threw the mic, and again, a great, amazing promo from Paul Heyman, but
Even if you beat Goldberg, you're still down.
that's what I'm saying. You're still down 2-1, and
What does that prove?
And
Nothing.
at the Royal Rumble, he eliminated you again. So, I mean, at this point, it's just what? So you can
Say you beat him.
say you beat him once, and Goldberg still has more wins. And on top of that, there's talk that it's going to be for the Universal title.
God, no. Can we? I don't even want to talk about that. That pisses me off just thinking about it.
So that'll come later on if it officially becomes a match at Fastlane. Maybe tonight we get that, what Goldberg's going to be doing at Fastlane. I'm sorry. Yeah, Fastlane. I was right. Elimination Chamber is the one for SmackDown. So I don't know. I don't know how that whole thing is. Obviously, I think the general consensus is that Goldberg is going to accept the challenge. Do you think it's going to be one of those things that's drawn out for a little bit since WrestleMania isn't, right around, it's still a couple months away? Or do you think that he's going to announce tonight, yeah, I take your match?
I think he'll take the challenge tonight, but then he's going to mention something else about the Universal title, I believe, tonight.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, anything else you want to add for Raw before we move on to the better brand, as we call it?
I'm ready to talk SmackDown and Chamber.
Yeah, so let's talk about SmackDown Live in the Chamber. So SmackDown, like we said, got 2 weeks to build up their pay-per-view. We already know we know 5 matches, is it? I think 4 matches. There's talks of more matches being added. I know 2 of them that they're talking about that haven't been officially announced yet. One of them being Dolph Ziggler and Apollo Crews, and the other being Randy Orton and Luke Harper. Obviously,
That's
Orton's
cool.
not going to
Put Apollo Crews in the match. He wasn't in the Rumble, but oh well.
He wasn't in the Rumble.
Was he?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes, he was. Apollo Crews was in the Rumble. He came in the 20s.
That's right. I'm losing my mind.
Yeah, he got eliminated, but I don't remember who. I think Ziggler and him went at it again. They continued that feud in the Rumble. But so you think that obviously Orton won't be in the main event because he already has the right to main event WrestleMania for the WWE title. So Randy Orton,
Maybe-
Luke Harper. Do you think Randy Orton goes over
versus Harper?
Yeah. Do you think Randy Orton goes over in that match if that match gets announced?
Yeah, why not? I mean, he's won the Rumble. You really think they're gonna have him lose?
Okay, and then another match that isn't announced, but I think might get announced. You already have 2 women matches on the card, but Becky Lynch and Mickie James. Maybe they get a chance, and that'd be the third match at the
Possibly.
pay-per-view. So
Maybe the pre-show.
yeah, I still think that they should have. That's the thing that always bothers me is when they do these pay-per-views that are named after like a gimmick match. Like the eliminate, and they have
should do
one
more gimmick.
chamber match. This would have been perfect to put the first ever women's elimination chamber match. You had the talent over there, but again, they kind of don't do, they don't do what you expect. So let's talk about the card that we actually know. First match, I said there's 2 women matches so far. First match, we have Nikki Bella versus Natalya.
That's what I think.
And who are you picking to win?
Natalya. I mean, no, Nikki. I don't know. Nikki Bella.
Yeah, I don't.
This thing has been so played out. I'm over it.
Yeah, I agree with Nikki Bella. I don't,
I'm sorry,
especially
I'm
with the
over this
talk of
feud.
her possibly retiring after WrestleMania because of the neck injury. I think Nikki Bella goes over. Just like you said, the feud. I like Natalya as a heel, but I feel like they've never used her properly. I feel like she should have been a champion more recently than she was. She hasn't been a champion
I'm
in
like
over
Justin
5 years
on this
easy.
one. Just put him on the pre-show and that's it. Be done with it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry.
I think-
that's how I feel. I'm done with this.
I think
feud.
Becky Lynch
This
and
feud
Mickie
has
James
lost
should have been on the
all
main
momentum.
show. Yeah. I
Yeah.
agree.
Yep.
Then the match that should be inside a chamber, since they've done it before, is the 6-team tag team turmoil match for the American Alpha SmackDown tag team titles. Last week, a lot of people, when they did, we're going to have an open challenge, everyone's like, who's going to answer the challenge? The Usos come out first. You're like, all right, get the Usos. But then more teams kept coming out. The Ascension comes out. The
They're
Vaudevillains
still
come
alive.
out. Breezango comes out. And who's the 5th team?
Vaudevillains.
I said Vaudevillains, Ascension, Breezango, the Usos, and Rhino and Slater. So 6 teams,
They're
right?
not called Breezango anymore. I'm calling them gay porn.
You can't say that. Golly.
Paul, you got to see what these guys wear to the ring, man. It's ridiculous. You got to see this.
Is it fantastic?
I'm gonna keep talking. I want to send him a picture.
He's gonna send you the picture while we talk about it.
Oh no.
But so you got those 5 teams. Again, you think this is the perfect spot. 6 teams, 4 pods, 2 people start the match. Let's do an elimination chamber. They did it last year with the New Day retaining their titles. But what do? Oh, we're gonna have a tag team turmoil match at the chamber. Why? Why not put this match inside the chamber? Do you understand that, Matt, or is it just me that's baffled why that match wasn't put inside the chamber?
I have no idea. I thought it was going to be a chamber match. I was like, cool, chamber match. This is going to be fun. And then they didn't do it.
As a tag team turmoil, is it going to be like where 2 teams start and when one team gets pinned, the next team comes out? Is it going to be one of those things? Is it going to be elimination style? All 6 teams are out there. I'd like to see how they're going to pan that out. I hope they do it like they did on the original turmoils, where 2 teams start and once one team's eliminated, the next team comes out. So it's like you have to face waves of them. Do you see anyone beating American Alpha?
No, I really don't. Here's the thing with American Alpha right now. I don't see anyone on this roster beating them, to be honest with you. I really don't. I see them running this division.
Okay.
There's no one on this roster that can beat American Alpha. So until they bring up someone, the next NXT tag team to come up, NXT tag team. Okay, I'm getting confused with the T. They need to go to SmackDown. They need something for American Alpha. I mean,
a lot of people were hoping that the Revival would be the ones that answer the challenge on
we all were, but
Tuesday.
But you look at this. I mean, just look at the teams in this. The Vaughn Villains haven't been nothing since they've been NXT champions. Were they in NXT? They were, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. The Ascension.
All of them were there. Ascension. Yeah.
They haven't done anything since they've been champions. They're down there. One Man Gore, cool. It was a gimmick to get Heath Slater a contract. Breezango, cool. Okay gimmick. They don't know what they're doing with them. And the Usos, like what Justin said, they look like they just came from robbing a bank.
I don't understand
They
what
look
they're
more
doing
like
with
the
these guys.
Mexicools.
Oh, I used to love the Mexicools. Those guys are awesome.
Is that them? Did I get it right?
The Mexicools that would have come out on the lawnmower with Super Crazy and
man.
Psychosis?
No, they were the ones that came out on the bites.
Oh, Camacho and... They weren't the Mexicools. That was Camacho and Hunico.
Yeah, that's who they remind me of. Look, they shouldn't get rid of this. Roman Reigns should come over to SmackDown just to beat the Samoan out of them.
Yeah. I don't understand why they're doing that. Yeah, the Usos...
Stupid.
I don't understand why they're doing that. The Usos as heels, I don't mind, but with this gimmick, it doesn't make sense because the Usos should be the tag team that's feuding with American Alpha to put them to the next level even further. So I think it comes down to the Usos and Alpha, and I think Alpha continues their title reign here.
I'm telling you, there's no team on this list of tag teams that should beat American Alpha. I'm sorry. There's no one up here that can carry the division like American Alpha. Usos can carry. None of those teams can do it. Like I said, One Man Gore was a gimmick for Heath Slater. And then I don't know, man. I thought SmackDown's not the place for tag team.
No, it doesn't seem like it.
But then
There's
again,
a lot
you
of
got the New
teams,
Day
but
who just kept the titles forever.
yeah, I think there's a lot of teams there, but like you said, they haven't been given the proper, like Vaudevillains Ascension were great in NXT, but then they came up to the main roster. Same thing with Tyler Breeze. Did great stuff down in NXT, had great matches, but gets lost in the shuffle. Just they don't seem like they had the right
Enzo
storyline
and
for him.
Cass would have benefited from coming over to SmackDown, I think. That would have helped out.
I would trade Enzo and Cass for any of these 2 teams. 2 teams.
I'd give me Alpha, Usos, Enzo, and Cass, and I'm good.
Yeah.
That's all I need.
I'd be all right with it.
But I mean, that's just my opinion. I don't know how you feel about the tag team division.
No, I think
just
that
think
the
it's
tag team
weak.
division overall is not strong. No.
I think in both brands it's weak.
I just think that they only know how to showcase really one team strongly, whoever the champ
the fact
is.
that you got to put
and then after that,
teams together and give them the title when you got all these other
think
good
about it.
teams,
On both sides, they did that.
Stupid.
Sheamus and Cesaro on Raw,
Stupid.
SmackDown, it was One Man Gore, and then Orton and Wyatt.
Like,
So
why? Why not give teams who have been there a while? Why are you giving gimmicks? Cool, you get Bray Wyatt a championship. It only took him 3 or 4 years to get one.
and then they lose it in like
They
less
lose
than
it
a
in
month.
12 day. They were 12-day champions. Good for them.
It doesn't. I don't know.
Sorry, that was my rant for the day.
Coming off of sour grapes, yeah, but
I just don't like the way the tag team is on both brands right now.
Matt is
I
Matt's got he's not very happy with this wrestling stuff right now. He's
No,
just
he
very
doesn't seem like
very
it.
upset,
It's just
very
this-
angry. Like it's
I expect a lot from SmackDown, and this card so far to me is weak. It's a weak card.
Yeah,
This is probably the worst
think
card
so.
they put together.
okay.
Yep, I agree. And then we move on from that. We both agree Alpha wins and a match that doesn't really have any.
If Alpha loses, I'm throwing something to my TV and I'm never watching SmackDown again.
Oh God, here it goes.
You heard it here, folks. You heard it here.
Yeah.
I'm serious. None of these teams belong as champions except for Alpha. None of them.
Okay. Even the Usos.
No, I'm not with that stupid gimmick.
Oh gosh, Matt. All right, we're gonna move on before Matt continues his rant. So let's
I'm
move
afraid if I
on.
see them in the alley, they're gonna hold me up for my wallet.
What about
my goodness.
Andre the Giant and Ivan? What's his name?
Ivan Putski.
Oh, jeez.
No, the Russian.
Oh, how do you say it? Kovalov? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who
They
said
were
that?
awesome.
Who said that?
Paul said that. You don't
I
remember them?
said
Paul's
They
talking
were awesome.
about throwing back to a great tag team from what was that? Probably like the 80s, right, Paul?
About
Yep.
Santino and
Yep.
Valamir.
That's
There's
right.
a tag
All right,
team
now
right there.
we're moving on. We're not talking about this no more. We're going on. The women's title match on SmackDown: Alexa Bliss versus Naomi. I'm very happy with this match.
I am.
This
I'm happy
actually
for
the match-
Naomi.
I'm
She's
happy
been the
for Naomi
champion
finally
twice.
being
She
put-
deserves this.
Yeah, she hasn't ever won the title, so she's being put in a spot finally. I think athletically, she's probably one of the best on the roster. So I'm glad to see that she's finally getting the opportunity. With that being said, Alexa Bliss will retain the title. She's gotten pinned by Naomi week in and week out, so I don't see them having Bliss lose on Sunday at the Chamber.
She's,
What about you?
She's not too bad on the eyes there. This Alexa Bliss.
Yep, no, she's not. She's like 5 foot, like what? She's small but fierce. That's her like tagline.
I'll go with Bliss too. I think they're gonna do the whole Mickey James psycho helper, and then she's gonna be, oh my god, this seems very familiar to something they did when she first came to WWE, didn't it?
Are you talking about Mickey?
Are they just recycling this again?
I feel like Mickey's supposed to be Trish Stratus in this situation, and now.
Yep. No, she's not. She's still the psycho.
Well, I'm saying like they're gonna eventually pay it off like that. I think because Mickey's eventually gonna go for the title.
Hopefully.
Yes.
Maybe I'll have my brother ask her when he meets her. Hey, Paul, do you know about that?
Yeah, actually, I had we took your brother and his girlfriend out yesterday.
He told you about it?
Yeah, he was saying that he went. That's who he went to on that cruise with or whatever, right?
Yeah, her parents.
Yeah, her parents.
That's awesome. Well,
That's pretty cool.
fantastic.
Lucky him, right?
All right. Yeah, I'm saying. But you're
I-
going with
I'm
you're
going
going
with
with Bliss.
I'm going with
Okay.
Bliss. So are we agreeing on everything so far? Bliss,
Yeah, so
Alpha,
far.
Nikki?
Yeah. How about this? Before we get to the main event, let's just talk about those matches that we. Is there any other match you think that might get added that isn't on the card?
Crew and
Besides the
Ziggler.
ones. Okay, who would win that match? Prediction wise. I'm gonna go with Apollo Crews.
That's what
If it's
I
on-
was going to say Apollo Crews too.
Dang it! Come on, Matt.
What other match did you say?
We both said Orton. We
Yeah.
both said Orton. Yep. And
No
then
arguing today.
Mickey James or Becky Lynch.
Mickey.
I go with Becky.
How's she going to
So.
lose twice in a row?
Because that's what they do when they bring veterans back. So, but those matches, like I said, aren't official. We'll find out on Tuesday if they do make those matches official. What about James Ellsworth and Carmella?
Good for him. Good for
Oh,
him.
they don't have What about Carmella? She's not in the. See, this they should have did the women's match in the Chamber. Could have had the two that are already in the title match: Mickey James, Carmella, Nikki, and Natalya.
You
There's
know
your
who the
six.
best women's champion was? Santina.
Oh, jeez. All right, let's get to the main event.
Frank
do you
would
have?
say,
How
they
do you
should
feel
have
about the main
Santina
event?
versus Ellsworth.
Oh no, they shouldn't do that. That'd be terrible. The main event, six-man Elimination Chamber match at the Elimination Chamber view, the only Elimination Chamber at the pay-per-view. You have the WWE Champion, the 16-time champ, John Cena, AJ Styles, Baron Corbin, Bray Wyatt. I was like blanking there for a
Miz.
second. Miz and Intercontinental Champion Dean Ambrose.
Wait, I have a question. Who guessed all this right?
Matt, you did guess all this right on the previous show. I had who did I have instead?
You had Dean out and Ziggler in, I think, or something.
Yes, I think that was it. Something like that. Yep. So congratulations to Matt.
I said Dean, you're all like, no, he'll defend it.
Well, because they should have, but as you can see, look at the card. They only have 4
you know what they
matches
should
announced.
do in this match is if you pin Dean at all in the match, you win their
You get the
Intercontinental
title.
Championship.
That would be fantastic, but they'll never do that.
How
never
awesome
do
would
that.
that be?
That'd be great.
Like, what if Cena pinned Dean and then he loses? Has Cena ever been an Intercontinental Champion?
Yes.
He
No.
was.
No.
I don't think so. Him or Tater are both missing that.
Yeah, I think so. I think Cena is missing it.
That's crazy.
Might have to fact check that one. I know Taker hasn't, but I don't know about
I
Cena.
don't think Taker's ever won the U.S. title either.
If you have it handy, double check that when you get a chance.
Doing it right now.
So, those 6 guys in the match. Go looking towards WrestleMania. You know, you've heard the rumors of what you think's going to happen. Randy Orton's obviously already there. They're saying that the match has always been destined to be Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt. I agree. I think Bray Wyatt is going to win the Chamber to finally get the title and have the Orton and Bray Wyatt feud.
Never Intercontinental.
Okay, perfect. That's what I thought. So good call on that. I think Orton and Wyatt will be the feud. However, I don't know if you saw this. On SmackDown, they announced this last week that John Cena and Orton would go one-on-one, so people lost their mind. Oh, I thought that was going to be the match at Mania. Why would they put it on SmackDown for free? So there's talk now that supposedly in certain areas on TV for when they did the commercials, they're not saying Orton and Cena are facing each other Tuesday on SmackDown now. So do you think that maybe they're trying to say, hey, you know what, maybe we will let Cena keep the title to WrestleMania and go against Orton again? Or do you think this is just them trying to throw something out there to throw people off at the last second? My prediction is Bray Wyatt walks out the champion at Elimination Chamber.
Okay,
it'll
here's
come
my
down to
first-
him and John Cena. I'll agree with that. But who do you got?
What are they called in the IWC? Is that what it is?
Internet wrestling community you're talking about.
Some of y'all are stupid. Anyone who doesn't want to see Cena versus Orton at WrestleMania, you are an idiot and you're not a wrestling fan. Who doesn't want to see these two go at it?
Shots
They had
fired.
some of the best feuds ever multiple times. This is our generation's Rock and Stone Cold. And you agreed with me, I think, when I told you that. This is Rock and Stone Cold. This is the new generation's Rock and Stone Cold. Why would you not want to see this? This is awesome. Those two know how to do promos. They're great, and especially if Orton does his heel stuff. Oh, man, he's one of the best heels ever to walk the face of the earth. No offense to Triple H or any of those guys. Orton was the heel back in the day. I think you can agree with that.
Oh, yeah, I loved Orton back in the day as a heel.
But I think Cena's going to walk out a champion because I want to see Cena Orton again. I don't care what anyone says. Bray Wyatt, cool. You know, if he wins, then everyone's going to be like, oh, you know, Orton's going to turn on him. You see it coming. I want to see Orton RKO Bray in the Elimination Chamber come out of nowhere to let Cena win.
And do you think maybe they add Bray to the triple threat at the Mania if Cena's still the champion?
You know what? That's not actually a bad idea. You may have just came up with an idea. You should be a WWE writer.
I like it. I like it.
Instead
Now,
of Freddie Prinze, they should have you do it.
oh, Freddie Prinze does a good job there. You got to give him credit.
You did good.
Um,
But I think Cena walks out.
Wait, hold
can't
on.
think-
Freddie Prinze? Who's Freddie
Junior,
Prinze?
yeah.
He's seriously.
actor?
He's into.
He's a writer.
He was
Really?
a writer.
He was, yeah, he's huge wrestling fan. Yeah, he
He
was
was
a
a
writer,
writer
and he
at one
was
point.
he was actually giving them acting classes too, as well, behind us.
No
Like some of the
way.
wrestlers, he would help them with like acting. Yep.
Oh my god.
To like make them more like convincible on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's no longer does it, but he did it for a couple years though.
I had no idea.
But you know what? You give the guy, he just won 16, and then you're going to take away from him. But
Within
here's
2
the thing.
weeks.
If he loses it, when does he do his rematch? The next night on
He'd have to
Tuesday?
do it on-
Does he,
oh yeah.
does he put himself? Or do they do what I said all along to where he wins it, he loses it, and then he wins it at WrestleMania?
I don't think he wins it back at WrestleMania. I think that, like you said, I think Orton's not going to turn on Wyatt right away. I actually think Orton will help Wyatt in the rematch, and then set up Wyatt and Orton at WrestleMania. That's what I think.
So,
but
so here's the question.
I like the triple threat idea. Now the thing is with Orton and Cena, where people, I don't want to see that match. In the 15 years that both of them have been on the main roster, 15 years, both of these guys, like you said, Rock
They
and
came
Cena,
up the same time.
Rock and Stone Cold came in the same class with Lesnar, Batista, Shelton Benjamin. They were all in the same OVW class. They've never met one-on-one at WrestleMania. Rock and Cena had 2 matches, but Rock and Austin had 3. They were the 2 biggest stars of their generation. So for all these people complaining, I don't want to watch that, it's never happened at WrestleMania before.
So
Those
shut
two have
up.
never been in a singles match. So I don't want to hear that, I don't want to see that. Because you know what? You know who is going to want to see that? The people that aren't casual fans anymore, that don't watch wrestling as often. That are going to be like, oh man, Randy Orton's facing John Cena for the title. Because when I talk to people about wrestling that don't watch wrestling, and I go, oh, what's the match tonight? Be like, Bray Wyatt's facing, who's Bray Wyatt? Oh, he's facing Seth Rollins. Who's Rollins? Because they don't watch wrestling as often. Now, not saying those guys are great talents. They're probably some of the best on the roster now. But when you go, oh yeah, Orton's facing Lesnar at SummerSlam. What? Orton's facing Lesnar. They're still around. This is what I'm saying, because these are guys that have been around for a while that people know. That's the thing of it, and that's why this match has the potential to be a great match at WrestleMania, but due to the fan backlash, you're not going to get a chance to see this match. And it's a real shame, because I would love to see the two greats of our generation face each other at WrestleMania for the most coveted title in sports entertainment today.
Bojo just said I'm full of salt and vinegar tonight.
Yeah, it's about accurate.
It's just this card is just it's very lackluster. You miss an opportunity with the tag team elimination chamber. You miss an opportunity with the women's. If you're gonna call it elimination chamber, put them in. If not, call it something else and just say you're gonna have an elimination chamber match. Don't advertise it and then not have that. Like the TLC pay-per-view when they had it, they had a TLC match, but they also had a ladder match. They also had a chairs match. They also had a tables match. What's wrong with that?
No, I
I
agree
would have
with you.
loved the IC title in the Elimination Chamber with Dean because it would give him more people opportunity.
Exactly.
Of course, you can have Dean walk all over them, but so what? Can you imagine if they put people like Ziggler in that match, Crew, even I think Sin Cara could have a couple good spots in the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, I think they just rushed this card coming out of the Rumble. This should have been a perfect. I remember originally they were talking about that Cena and Styles at one point was being advertised to be a 2 out of 3 falls match for the title. That's what should have taken place.
I remember that.
And then they should have had the Chamber been the Intercontinental title, and then have a Chamber match for a #1 contender or something like that at Mania.
Or they should give Raw the Chamber match because they had a lot more people probably they could have worked with.
Yeah, Raw has more talent, and that's because they got the 3-2 picks. I think Raw would have been better suited for the Chamber pay-per-view. That's me, but
the only thing I hate is I understand these 2 pay-per-views a month, but sometimes like right after Royal Rumble, you're rushing it because you want to. Because after this 2 weeks, we don't see a SmackDown pay-per-view till WrestleMania.
Yep.
So this Sunday, this is it. You got no more anything Raw. You just start building everything up for WrestleMania, and that's what kind of sucks. Because after when's Raw? Was it 2 weeks after this?
I think it's a little bit long. I think it's I don't know.
Or are they the end of February?
They're in March, the pay-per-view, Fastlane. I'll tell you right now. I'll get the date as your.
So they don't have one for this month?
No, they don't. This is the only one this month that I know of.
Fastlane is March 5th. Yeah.
Yep. So it's the first week of March.
So after this, you gotta wait, and then after so really for SmackDown, you just gotta build. How much can you build up for almost 2 months? Because that's really what you're looking at is 2 months of build up. Because what's this Saturday? Was it the 11th or 12th?
It is the. Oh man, why am I blanking here? This Saturday is. You said Saturday or Sunday?
This Sunday. What is it? I'm sorry.
Sunday's the 12th. Yeah.
All right. What WrestleMania are we on? 32? No, 33.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be on the 2nd. So you basically have 2 months to prepare for stuff. Can you drag storylines out that long?
They're going to have to do something.
If let's say Cena does win, you got to drag out Cena Orton storyline for 2 months. That's hard to do.
I think this pay-per-view should have been back another week. It should have been the middle, like the 3rd week, and then they could have pushed Fastlane back another week, and that could have been the 2nd week of March, and then there's almost still a little over a full month, a little under a full month.
So you're going to have 2 months to try. So basically what I'm thinking is they're going to have, if Cena loses, he's going to get his rematch on SmackDown somewhere in between. They're going to have one of their super shows like they had at the end of the year to where they're probably going to have titles on the line. Because when's the last time Dean defended his title?
It's been a minute.
He didn't do it at Royal. No, he was in the Rumble match.
Yeah, he didn't have a title match at the
Rumble. It's been a while. Dean's got to start defending that.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. Like I said, I don't like the way they push this card together, and I think it'll still be a good show because of the talent SmackDown has, but I just don't like that they rushed it all together. And
I'm scared for this card, man. I really am. SmackDown.
I think they'll be okay. SmackDown always figures a way out of stuff. They never end up being the full 3 hours, too. That's the other good thing. They always end up doing like those 2 hour, 2.5 hour shows.
3 hour, the full 4 hours. That was surprisingly.
Yeah, surprising as well. But they also did the pre-show that was 2 hours long.
Don't even count that because all the matches were in the last hour. That was ridiculous.
Last like 30 minutes.
I don't know.
Yep. Matt, you're just very
it's just
very
frustrating
salty tonight,
that you had a 2 hour pre-show. You could have given some of those people more airtime and to put and then you have what did they end like 30, 20 minutes early?
I think so, yeah.
Those 20 minutes you couldn't put that tag title match on the main card?
Yeah.
There's your tag match right there.
I agree.
But I guess people would turn it off once Roman came out.
They need Freddie Prinze Jr. back is what it is.
Yeah, there you go. We're going to hashtag it, bring Freddie back.
Bring Shaggy and Scooby with you.
Oh, jeez. No, you know what? Let's talk about that real quick since we're done with the chamber, right?
Yeah.
Who's your prediction? I'm sorry. No, you didn't predict. Is Cena's walking
Cena,
out
I'm going
champion?
Cena.
Match of the night, will it be that match?
I think Bliss and Naomi.
I like that. I like that. My star of the night was going to be Naomi. My match of the night is going to be the chamber match since it's the only one. I think that's going to be like a full hour match. So
My star of the night. I'm gonna go with AJ. He's gonna do something crazy in that chamber.
yeah, I'm about it. I'm about it.
He may do a phenomenal
So-
forearm off the top of a pod.
My prediction for the actual match itself, I know he's not going to win, but Corbin will eliminate at least 2 people. What do you think? You take an over or under on that? Corbin eliminates 2 people.
Let me just. I want to look at the chamber again and just see, just curiosity, who's in it. I know who's in it, but I just want to see who he could eliminate. I see Corbin eliminating Dean, setting up for an Intercontinental match,
Okay.
and I see the Miz. I see a triple threat in our future with those 3.
Okay. Who's the big guy? Who's the guy that's going to get the most eliminations? If you had to predict a guy in that match.
I want to go with you, but I want to do something different again. I say Cena goes on a tear.
Okay.
I say Cena starts the match, and he could eliminate. I said, Corbin could eliminate Dean. Cena could start the match and just go straight out.
Eliminate everyone but him and be the final 2
like
with
what
somebody.
CM Punk did that one year where he eliminated, what was it, 2 people right in a row, and then he got himself knocked out?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fair. And who was your star of the night? Sorry, you said AJ Styles.
AJ.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. I feel like we haven't really talked much about him now that he lost the title.
Can
but
we talk about my thing that I brought up last week?
what, that John Cena is the greatest?
The greatest of all time. Can we bring that up?
Yeah, let's go for it, man. We got
Let's talk
time.
about it.
Go ahead. The floor is yours.
I think he's the greatest superstar to ever live. To be honest with you, to ever done the business. First off, 16-time world champion. Of course, Flair. I had 20. No, 16. You tied. Boo-hoo. Get over it. Your other ones. Never left the company. Never took a long time off to do any kind of movies for a year. None. He was just, if he took off, it was because he was hurt. Always come back. Always kept his word. Wasn't like The Rock, who would leave and only shows up during WrestleMania to spend 30 minutes shooting pyro off at a stupid sign that no one really cares about. All the Make-A-Wish he does. I mean, example, the Royal Rumble when he left to go do that kid in the crowd. Do you see any other wrestler doing that?
No.
Yeah, exactly.
Nope.
He never left. He stayed loyal. I really wish he was big during the Invasion storyline, because if they had something like that, he'd be the guy in charge of WWE. He would be the head guy. Even during the Invasion, you can say, they always talk about, oh, The Rock's the one who came back. I don't even consider The Rock the leader of the locker room during the Invasion. You know who it was? It was Taker during that time period. Anyone can argue with me about that. He's
No,
never
you're right.
left to just go do a movie. He takes time off, maybe to do a show, 1 or 2 months, right back at it, on the road. He always did house shows when he was here. The guy's a superstar. If you come out at me and say Hogan, go screw. Hogan left to go to WCW. Yeah, they merged, but guess what? He left. And guess what happened during the Invasion storyline? What him, Goldberg, Hall, and Nash did. I got guaranteed contract. I ain't coming out. Ruined the whole Invasion storyline. Because Vince really wanted those 4 there. Along with Sting. Sting, can't mention him in the best. He left, went to TNA. Now, granted, it's because he said he never would go to WWE. He ended up doing it. But Sting, you can almost say, was the greatest TNA wrestler.
Okay.
You can almost say that about Sting. Sting had his moment in TNA and WCW because Sting was one of the ones that never left to go to WWE. So you want to say another great? I put Sting for WCW and TNA. Can you agree with that maybe?
Yeah, I'd say Sting for WCW. I don't know about for TNA.
Well, he helped get that company off the ground.
Yeah, but I think AJ Styles was the John
AJ,
Cena
Joe,
of
and
TNA.
all them. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I really don't think no one compares to John Cena as the greatest wrestler in WWE for all the stuff he did. He was homegrown in Ohio Valley. I'm going to say
John Cena is the greatest professional wrestler. Let's not even go just WWE.
So you're going 1 over me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
I like it. We agree on something.
I I have a big issue with people. Listen, I'll be the first guy.
Oh,
That
Guillermo
will-
just joined the chat. I can't wait to hear him
Okay,
talk.
so I'm sure he's gonna have
Shawn
something to
Michaels.
say. I'll be the first guy to tell you that when John Cena wins a match, I'll be like, oh great, Cena wins again, and I'll be that guy. But John Cena, time and time again, has put the company ahead, of John Cena, of his personal thing, and match after match, John Cena delivers. He doesn't leave the company. And it was something we talked about last week. You talk about these other guys, The Rock. You talk about Stone Cold. You talk about Hogan. You talk about all these other guys. The Rock did it as the face of the company 4 years, right? Stone
but he
Cold,
left.
4 years, 5 years. They were in the company, but they weren't the main guy. John Cena did it for over a decade as the guy in the company, and he's still doing it now. He might not be as, precedent like in the front because he's not there all the time anymore, but he's still a wrestler at heart. WWE is his, So for me, that's what makes John Cena the greatest wrestler. Not that necessarily that he's the best in-ring performer. That's the other thing, and that's where I think Guillermo always gives you, crap about Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels is a better in-ring performer than John Cena. But when you think about what John Cena did for the wrestling business as a whole, John Cena's done more than Shawn Michaels has.
Oh, let's hold on. Let me talk to you about in-ring performer. Past couple pay-per-views against AJ Styles, Cena has thrown stuff out we have never seen him do. That what did he do? The Canadian Destroyer?
Yeah, that.
Where
yeah,
the
it was
hell
similar
did
to
that come from? Second of all, let's not forget Stone Cold also walked out in the WWE because they made him lose to Lesnar at during a qualifying match.
They
the
wanted
King
him
of the
to.
Ring.
He didn't show up.
He didn't show up. Let's. No one ever talks about that. Stone Cold no show an event because he would not lose to a new and up and coming guy. Cena, all that.
Well, and in fairness to Stone Cold, the reason he did it was because he didn't like the build to it. He wanted more of a build to make Lesnar look bigger.
I don't see Cena. Cena would have been like, all right, whatever, cool.
Yeah.
Cena
Like
lost
I said,
to
man.
Kevin Owens his first match.
Yeah, and Kevin Owens' first match.
AJ
They're always
Styles
going
went
to.
2 out of 3 with him.
Yeah, they're always going to do that. They're always going to find something wrong with Cena. And like I said, I don't necessarily have an issue with other. My opinion is John Cena's the best
Come on, Guillermo,
wrestler.
give it to me, man. Why do you like? Who's the greatest?
Well, he already
superstar?
wrote OMG in there. I see him already writing in there. He won't say nothing. Shawn Michaels in ring wise is better than John Cena, but again, Shawn Michaels was never the focal point for this amount of time, and that's what I'm looking at. Is who was the guy for that
Michaels
amount of
tried to
time?
carry the company on his back, but couldn't hold it.
Oh no, he's definitely if he's watching right now, that's getting a comment at some point from you.
Well, here's my thing with Shawn Michaels. He called himself Mr. WrestleMania. What's his record? Because it's got to suck. He wasn't.
I don't know.
I believe he doesn't have a winning record at WrestleMania. Didn't he lose to someone at WrestleMania? I believe he lost to. Didn't he lose to Cena at WrestleMania?
I'm not saying anything. I'm not incriminating anything. That's
Didn't he
correct, though.
lose to
Yes,
Undertaker
and they had a
twice at
classic.
WrestleMania?
They had a classic at WrestleMania.
They did.
And then the next night on Raw, they had another great match that Shawn Michaels won.
He's just boiling up. I'm waiting for him just to erupt.
I don't think he's going to say something tonight. I think he's just going to let it. I think he's going to let it sit tonight.
You know what?
He might have already left the
get him
chat.
on the show.
We'll have to. Maybe we'll get him on the show and we'll
Guillermo,
talk to him about.
You're still watching. This is an invite for you to come on the show and debate with us who the greatest superstar is. Because I want to hear his opinion. Because Guillermo, I've known him for a long time. He's always been a wrestling fan. We've always, even before I met you guys, me and him always talked about it. So you know what? Oh, okay. All right. I can deal with that. He said he was dealing with, that is true. I did watch the DVD. Michaels was dealing with abuse issues at the time.
Yeah, no, I agree. There was a lot. Like I said, I'm not. There's going to be circumstances of reasons why someone didn't do what they did. I think Shawn Michaels is the best in-ring performer I've ever seen. I'll say that. I've said it probably 4 times already in this last 5 minutes. John Cena, to me, is the greatest professional wrestler. And like you said, Matt, you laid the challenge down. If Guillermo would like to show up, we would love to have him on the show.
Balls in your court, showstopper.
Yeah, there you go. We'd love to have you come on the show, and we'd love to have you talk Shawn Michaels, because this is in no way me knocking Shawn Michaels. I could talk about his accomplishments over and over again. during him and Bret Hart are some of the best matches I've ever seen. So, yeah,
It's like a feud starting here, isn't it?
I know. It looks like you're starting something
It's
with
a great promo right here.
You know.
Oh, plug this in a promo.
Yes.
Oh, here you go. He wrote back. Yeah, and I was actually there the first match he came back from his injury, the unsanctioned match at SummerSlam with him and Triple H. It took place in Nassau Coliseum in Long Island, New York, and that was a fantastic match. And it shows you the kind of talent he was to be able to come back from that and put on a stellar match right away. So,
But guess what? There's two now. There's two 16-time world champions, and one's not Shawn.
wow.
This is
Yeah,
if he comes on and debates this, it's going to be a good show.
Yeah, well, like you said, John Cena. We'll talk. We're gonna hold this now. We talked about it more. We are going to have an episode where we talk about who our greatest of all time are. Obviously, me and you are on the page that it's John Cena, but we'll talk about some other guys.
We're gonna have
on the mic.
We're gonna have like 5 or 6 weeks of no pay-per-views. Something's gonna come up.
Yeah,
soon.
so that'll be a show coming up soon that we'll talk about who our greatest,
We
and
used
we'll
to,
put it out
greatest
for the
ever
fans.
did-
We're gonna put it out for the fans. We're gonna do a vote. Who's the greatest wrestler of all time? Who's the greatest on the mic? Who's the greatest in-ring performer? We're gonna put a couple things. Who's the most underrated? Who things like that. So that'll be a show coming up probably. I'd say probably around March, or maybe that week in
As
between.
you've seen our episode for greatest entrances, we've done factions. We've done a lot so far. I think it's time we do greatest superstars.
So we're gonna talk about that. We'll definitely talk about that, and we'll break it down. And we'll talk, and we hope to get some feedback from the fans on that. So definitely stay tuned for that. We'll keep you updated on that. But yeah, Matt, I think that's pretty much it for me. I think a nice way to end the show, talking about who the greatest of all time is.
That's that's a good wrap up. I mean, like I said, Guillermo, if you come on the show, you won't be able to see me, buddy. What a plug-in right there. Paul, take it away.
All right, I'll try without coughing my way through it. You guys know the drill. Thanks for participating in the chat and the comments. Thanks for the comments, Guillermo, Bojo. Who else was in there?
Arnaldo, Curly.
Arnaldo, yeah. Thank you, everybody, for participating and listening and watching. Give us a like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Also, subscribe to the Facebook. It's Facebook.com// Off the Top Turnbuckle. Hit us up on Twitter. It's at OT3Podcast1 and Gmail, OT3Podcast@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. Please do. We want to know what you're thinking about everything, about the matches that are coming up, about Raw tonight, everything like that. So send something.
Yeah.
Real quick, tomorrow, Shife Sports Talk, 7 o'clock. Me, Anthony, Chris will be returning. We'll be reviewing Super Bowl. Big comeback from the Patriots. And we'll also be doing, I guess my second, but Anthony's and Chris's first NFL mock draft. So we won't go over the entire first round, but we'll say our top 5 and then talk a couple surprise picks we may have. So tune in for that tomorrow. Paul, I hope you're feeling better tomorrow.
Yeah, me too, brother.
I know we gotta get you in there. I know you watched Super Bowl, so I know we want you in there to talk about it.
Oh, yeah, I saw it. It's fun.
Yeah,
So, Anthony, go ahead.
Yeah, that's gonna pretty much do it for us tonight. Quick, Elimination Chamber wasn't much to talk about, unfortunately, because not many matches. We got a little bit on Matt got on his soapbox for a little bit to talk about the tag team divisions.
It sucks. It sucks.
And then we talked about the greatest of all time, which now we officially can announce we'll have a show dedicated just to that coming up in the next couple weeks to a month. So stay tuned for that. And as usual, thanks for watching episode 35 of OT3. Like Matt said, we'll see you tomorrow night on Shife Sports Talk for another great show. Our Super Bowl, closing, and unfortunately that means the football season has come to an end. But yeah, have a great night, everybody. Thanks for watching. Paul, myself, and Matt, we appreciate watching. Thank you again. Have a great night.
See ya.
Enjoy Raw.